Did you get your formatted clock running in the browser or not? Let's do this now together. So, let's first create new folder, mkdir clock. Then cd to this folder, and let's npm init and -y flag. This -y flag will automatically answer yes to all prompts. So just npm init and -y. So now package.json file was generated. So name of the package is clock and version is 1.0.0. Okay, now let's install moment.js. So just npm install moment. I'll install it as dependency. Enter. Okay, package is installed and let's open this folder in the Visual Studio Code. So code dot. So here you see Node modules folder with moment package inside, package.json and package-log.json. And we have just one dependency, it's moment. Okay, now I'll create all files needed for our application. So first file is index.html, then src folder. Inside of the src folder, I'll create index.js and style.css. So let's fill in index.html file. HTML, then head, then body, and here will be script tag. Script src equal src folder / index.js. And in the head, I'll add link to style.css. So link rel equal stylesheet, type equal text/css, and href, that is reference to CSS file. It is located in src folder /style.css. And I'll self-close this HTML tag. And let's add h1 tag here in the body. So h1 just hello. Let's save this file and let's try to open it in the browser. So from the terminal, I'll simply open index.html. And here it is opened. And hello is placed here, it is in h1. So let's add some styling here. So in the style.css, I'll add h1 style. Font size will be 150 pixels. Text alignment center. Then padding 50 pixels. And color just light sea green, for example. So let's save this and let's test this. Let's go back to Chrome and refresh page. So here it is. Okay, now we need to add moment.js functionality and place, instead of hello, formatted time. Let's do this. Now let's edit index.js file. So first of all, I need to use moment.js functionality, but I cannot use it as module, so I cannot require it or use ES6 modules syntax. So what is the solution here? Let's expand Node modules folder and let's go to moment package. I'll click on moment.js. This is the main function that adds moment.js functionality. How it works? It is immediately invoked function expression. So here is opening parent and at the end there is closing parent. And this function takes two arguments. Here they are. It is this and function. This refers to the global object. So if we will call this function in the browser, then this will be window. So in the browser, let's go to the browser. Window is global object. So this and window. So result is the same. It means that this, in this case, will be window, global object in the browser. Then this function will perform some conditions checks. So first condition is type of exports equal to object. So let's copy this condition and paste in the browser. So it returns false. In Node.js, this condition will return true because it checks support of CommonJS modules. So Node.js supports it, but browser does not. No worries, we will talk about modules in separate section. Next, we will check type of define equal to function. Let's copy it and paste in the browser. Again, false. Again, it's another type of modules, AMD modules, and we will talk about this later on. And finally, because those conditions return false, we will attach new property to the global variable. So global in this case is this, that refers to window. It means that we add new global property to global object. And this new property is called moment. And this moment is a result of factory function execution. So factory is a second argument in this function. So here we execute this factory function. At the beginning of this factory function, another function called hooks is declared. And then come different functions that perform different operations with dates. And finally, at the end, factory function returns this hooks function. So in fact, when you call moment function, you call this hooks function. Okay. Let's simply copy all contents of this function. Let's copy it and go to the browser. Just clear console and paste this function. And enter. Now, if I type window.moment, I'll get function called hooks. So, new property was added to global object in the browser. Or we can call it simply like this, moment and parentheses. Now I get current time. Now let's use this knowledge and go on with the challenge. So we will use this function in the index.js file. So let's go back to the code, minify this and open index.js and paste function here. Now I can use this function. So let's declare a new constant. So const time equal to moment and parentheses. So we simply call moment function. Let's add console log statement, console log time, like this. Let's save this and go back to Google Chrome. Let's refresh page and here you see result. Current, time and date. Now let's format this date. I'll go to Moment.js documentation and here down below I'll find needed format. So this one. So just format and LTS in capital letters. Let's go to code and .format and here LTS. Let's save this and go back to Google Chrome. Refresh and now I get needed time. But of course it is not updated automatically. So console log statement was executed just once. Okay, let's move on. I will create two functions. First one will display time in the h1 and second function will update this time each second. And let's use arrow function expressions because Google Chrome supports this functionality, this ES6 syntax. Okay, let's do this. Const display time equal to arrow function. And in the contents of arrow function, let me hide this, I'll add several statements. So first one, const L, shortcut for element, equal to document dot get element by ID. And I'll get element by ID clock. Now let's go back to index.html file and add this ID here in h1. So ID equal to clock. And save this HTML file. Let's go back to index.js. So now I need to add text to this h1. So just L dot inner HTML equal to time. Time is constant declared outside of display time function. Let's take this declaration along with console log time and paste it here inside of display time function, like this. Of course, we can use let or var here instead of const, but inside of this function, we will not redeclare this time variable. That's why we can go on with const. Okay, this function is ready. So let's simply call it. So just display, time, and call. Let's save this index.js file and go to the Google Chrome. Let's refresh page here, and here it is, we got time. But now this time is static and we need to update it each second. We need to create a new function called updateTime function, and it will call this displayTime function each second. And we will use setTimeout for this. Let's go back to code and declare new constant, const update time. It is also equal to arrow function and contents of the arrow function. So here I'll call displayTime, copy it here and paste here, and I'll set timeout. So set timeout. And here I'll call update time recursively. So each second I'll call update time. So just copy name of the arrow function expression, then comma and timeout. So timeout in milliseconds. It will be 1000 milliseconds. And finally, we need to call update time function. So just update time and execute it. Let's save this file and go back to the Google Chrome. And refresh page. And here you see that time is updated each second. In this browser application, we have used a very important approach. We have taken part of the external package Moment.js and inserted it into our application. We have not used any modules, no require syntax and no ESX modules. So everything just in one file. Let's summarize this next. See you!